Welcome, mortal souls, to Strange Darkness Radio. Within the echoes of our hosts' haunting voices, terror weaves through the airwaves like a malevolent symphony. I am Benson, your spectral guide, leading you into the uncharted realms of the macabre. Brace yourself for a descent into a paranormal abyss with hosts Bobby Washington, Carolyn Grey, and Amy Tydeman. They traverse through tales that linger in the shadows, spectral apparitions, haunted domains, cryptids, and otherworldly encounters. Embrace the darkness, extinguish the lights, steel your nerves for a bone-chilling night into the heart of the unknown. It's time for Strange Darkness Radio.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh, can you feel it coming in the air tonight?
Welcome back to another episode of Strange Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Bobby Washington, along with
Carolyn Grey.
Amy Tydeman.
Nice. I like Carolyn was on it. She was right. She was quick with it. That's cool.
I was ready this time.
Exactly. Nice. So how have you guys been for the week? What's been going on? Anything new? Anything exciting happening? Carolyn, I know you do. You have a couple of exciting things.
I don't even want to talk about it.
It's been a stressful week, I think, for everyone, it sounds like.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Well, moving's always fun. It can be fun. It has its, once you get settled in, it tends to work itself out and everything, especially if the previous environment wasn't that great. So that's the one good
I'm
thing.
not that stressed anymore. I'm just exhausted. It's just been, moving and packing and unpacking and cleaning all week. So I'm excited for it to be over and everything to be in its place.
Nice. That's always a good thing. So, again, this show will air sometime in the coming weeks. So I'm not sure of how, in what order you guys hear our particular shows. But as you know, we're bringing back the bonus episodes. I think it's going to be an interesting new switch on it, that I'm trying to add to it, just to, one, to make sure we get more episodes out, and two, just to have different voices and different avenues and ventures to go down. And because I know Carolyn at some point wants to throw in some of the, what is it? The real human,
a true crime.
Yeah, creep factor of what's going on out there. So hopefully we'll get that also. And you may get a little bit of it on the bonus episodes, but it still will have a paranormal twist, so I think that will be a good added bonus. But on tonight's show, we have something very interesting. A guest that I actually met on Facebook in one of our, at least my paranormal Facebook groups, but having a ongoing paranormal experience in a haunt that could be possibly happening in her home, which she will say definitely happening. But we will talk to her in a little bit. We're going to, make sure, gals, I got everything out of the way, and there's nothing that we're missing or anything. I want to make sure I don't step on any toes. Amy, are you, is that it? Nothing else to add?
No, I mean, if you're talking about paranormal wise, no.
Yeah, paranormal
nothing,
or,
so no.
Just want to make sure, because last show,
personally?
last show, I got to it late in the show, and then, I caught the wrath, as you guys can hear on the previous show, which is pretty good. So I just want to make sure.
No, that was a joke. You don't You don't have to ask us about our personal lives.
No, well, no, not even
I changed
personal.
my mind.
Yeah, not even personal.
I would like to be asked.
You didn't want to be asked a second ago, though. So
not this time, but I would like to have the option.
Yeah, you guys will always have the option. But yeah,
I don't blame her.
It can be just in the sense of what you're covering, what particular thing we have coming up, and you can't wait to get into it, or something you even want to ask the audience and say, hey, is there something that we're not covering out there that you guys want us to cover? If so, hit us up on our IG at Strange Darkness Radio. You can always email us at strangedarknessradio@gmail.com, or give us a call at 916-741-3032. Leave your creepy or paranormal or UFO story. And if it's really long, we'll stitch it all together. The time you have to leave that is 3 minutes. So yeah, that's what Amy really wanted to say. And all that good stuff. She's like, no, that's not what I wanted to say. Anyways.
Well, no, one thing I am excited about, though, is I didn't know if you wanted to talk about potential ghost hunts in the future. That interests me. So I didn't know if that was like, was that a surprise?
No, not a surprise.
Did I ruin a surprise?
Definitely bring that up, because that's going to be fun. And also, if there's anything in the, let's say, California, Sacramento, Antelope, Los Angeles, it depends on how far, San Francisco area, that's really a haunted spot you guys want us to check out, you also can go ahead and, send us that info, and maybe we'll, check it out. Or if you have a haunted home, Amy is definitely willing to go and check it out if you're local to our region. So
yes, I would love to come check your house out. So feel free to message us.
That would be interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into tonight's guest, Heidi Gosson. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, paranormal enthusiasts and truth seekers, welcome back to Strange Darkness Radio. I'm your guide, Benson, and tonight's journey promises to send chills down your spine. Join me as we delve into the depths of the unknown with our special guest, Heidi Gosson. From the moment she moved into her apartment, strange occurrences began to unfold. Ghostly presences lurking in the closets, inexplicable disappearances of household items, and eerie laughter echoing through the night. But it was her most recent encounter that sent shivers down her spine. 3 ominous scratches appearing on her neck, leaving her convinced of a malevolent force at play. As Heidi recounts her harrowing experiences, we're left to ponder the intentions of these unseen entities. Are they simply restless spirits, or is there something darker lurking in the shadows? With her family's safety hanging in the balance, Heidi's quest for answers takes us on a journey into the heart of the paranormal. So buckle up as we embark on a spine-tingling adventure into the unknown, with Heidi Gosson as our guide. The night is young, and the mysteries of the supernatural await. Let's dive into the darkness together.
Heidi, welcome to tonight's show. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh, definitely. We're doing great.
Hi, Heidi. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Heidi.
Thank you. Hello.
So tell us a little bit about, before you get into your story, just about, have you had previous experiences, or is this totally a new thing that's been occurring lately?
This is something that has happened to me my whole life. I mean, from the time I was a kid. I mean, it's just, they're just attracted to me. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I have kind of, dabbled in the occult. I've done the Ouija board thing, but never had anything happen that time that I know of. I just, I have gone ghost hunting. That's okay.
Go ahead, Amy.
I wanted to ask about the Ouija board, because that always that's like a major thing whenever we talk about like paranormal experiences. There always kind of seems to be like a Ouija board happens to be involved a lot of that time. So did you have any experiences before you started dabbling with Ouija boards, or did you notice things after the fact?
I had experiences prior to the Ouija board, but I would say that it probably did get stronger after, which I know it sounds silly, but I guess I never put two and two together because the occurrences have sometimes been like years apart. So I wouldn't necessarily connect it back to the Ouija board, but I guess it could be.
See, the Ouija board is like a slow burn. Meaning you try it, right? And you talk to you're trying to get in contact with these spirits and you don't know if it worked or not, but then gradually something will, slowly start happening. You slowly start getting these experiences, and whether or not you're going back in and out of the Ouija board, meaning using it multiple times. But it's like what Amy said, a lot of people that have this thing that's following them for long periods of time, we do hear a lot of them have, had Ouija board experiences, but yet they have these entities that last decades.
Wow.
So
I never even thought about that.
Except for Carolyn. Like, wait a minute. There's an exception.
You're right. Like nothing happened at the time.
Nothing's happened to me so far. And I was going to say, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but when I was a kid, Ouija boards were just like something you did for fun, like at sleepovers, like you never really expected anything bad to come of it. So I can see why you would, maybe mess around with one and then think nothing of it. And then weird things start happening and you just don't even connect it. Cause to you, it's just like you were playing a game, but
exactly.
Yeah, Carolyn, but I'm also thinking that a lot of things do happen to you. You're just not paying attention. And
know what's funny, Bobby? Yeah. I feel like every time a light flickers in your office, you send us a video and go, "There's a ghost in here."
Well, here's the thing, which is true, but here's the thing. This is all recently started happening. I've been doing this podcast for over 2 years, and the people that I've had on the show with real encounters and real experiences, that's when this stuff started occurring. This is not something, this is not something that, just off the whim or, that again, I've had experiences pretty much all my life or dealt with people with experiences. I haven't gone into every detail of the experiences that I've had, but so I know the difference between one, I'm always in investigative mode when something does happen, trying to figure out why it's occurring. So it's not that I'm just on the face of it saying, let me see what is the odd circumstance. And Heidi, not to hijack your segment real quick, but I have to tell this story now that Carolyn brought this up. I have this strange Darkness Radio sign that's in one of my studios, and I've talked about it on the show before to where it went haywire. We had a particular guest on the show. I won't say her name, but ever since we've had her on the show, I've always had these particular light issues or electronic issues. And the funny thing about it is this light, I've contacted the manufacturer. I've dealt with a bunch of things. I've had this light forever. This is, when I talked to her is when I started having these particular experiences with light flickering, lights not working right, or power situations, right? Only on particular things. And to me, it's kind of like show related. Like this light is show related. In the studio is show related when I was getting ready to do a show. But now the light works perfectly fine. I mean, which is unreal. Like I was turning something on because I was doing something in this particular studio, setting up a whole new mic, because actually another little thing I'll let you guys know, I'm testing out the Rode signature NT1 microphone, and that's what you're hearing me through right now. So just FYI, more to come on that. But so I needed light, and I went ahead and plugged in the Strange Darkness Radio sign. It works now flawlessly with no issue. It goes through the steps and the stages that it's supposed to, and I've not had no problem. In the time when Tony was in the studio and the ring light was messing up, the ring light works perfectly fine. No light problems whatsoever. And the funny thing about it is the person that initially started all this, I have not talked to that person in a while. So make of it what you will.
And that's why I was totally just kidding. But that's why I do believe why some of the activity that you show us is probably weird, because, you know, like you said, you know the difference between something that's just like a technical issue and something that has no explanation, but also because of all the people you have coming in and out of the studio all the time who, you know, bring their whatever is accompanying them, they bring it with them to your studio.
Yeah.
And so I can totally believe that you've got some energy in there.
Yeah, I trust me, I did not think this sign was going to work or function correctly ever again. And I was replacing it, and it was going to cost me a large amount of money. And I'm glad I don't have to. I don't know if it's going to, you know, I will let you guys know, the audience out there, if this sign starts acting up again. But again, I've had it for 2 years since I started this show, and I've never had an issue with it. So it works perfectly fine. I got to have Amy over to the studio since Carolyn's not in town, just so she can witness the light working properly. So, yeah.
Amy will let us know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you if he's, you know, knows what he's talking about or not.
Yeah.
But Bobby, so you're saying as soon as you quit talking to that person, then everything started working normally for you?
Yes. And I don't know why that is, but I haven't plugged in the light ever since. And then I plugged it in today, and it works perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I don't know. Sorry about that, Heidi, but these are
that's interesting.
Past show.
I mean, you are. I mean, by having this podcast in your home, you are kind of, you know, you're always talking about it. You're kind of inviting things in, like, you know, stuff can happen.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. That's the thing about it, which I am learning. And you know, when you're having someone on and they're just talking about things that happened in the past, or you know, when they were growing up, I don't have issues when it comes to that. But when people are talking about current events or something that's plaguing them currently, and we'll see how your situation goes, Heidi. But that's when I start having those experiences. And, you know, so yeah. So let's get back to your story. Sorry to interrupt and go on that diatribe of
no worries
issues.
Can I ask you a question, Heidi? So you said that this has been happening your whole life. So can you kind of go back to your childhood, or just whenever it first started, whenever you first noticed it, and kind of tell us the experiences you've had moving into the place that you're in now, but just leading up to that?
So I've been into the ghosts and spirits and all that like my whole life. Like I've just been drawn to it. And I don't know if you guys have ever read anything, but they did a study a long time ago in Germany, and they found that children that had a parent die either before they were born or when they were like under the age of like 3, you know, before you have memories, that for some reason those children seem to be more perceptive to spirits. Well, my father died when my mom was pregnant with me. He was riding his motorcycle to work and a drunk driver hit him.
Oh my God.
And so if you believe in that study, then I kind of figured, okay, well, maybe that came, you know, from that happening. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe just because I am open to it and drawn to it, maybe that's why they're drawn to me. I don't know.
That's interesting.
I've seen so many videos, like home videos that, you know, people post online of like their little, you know, toddler, their baby, and they're interacting with someone who's not there. And usually it is like a parent that died, like you said, or sometimes it's a grandparent. But yeah, that is interesting. I would like to read up on that study.
I'm curious though. So has your mother had any experiences, you know, with like you said, your father passing, like, do you think she's ever felt like maybe his presence around or anything like that? Has she ever mentioned anything like that to you?
I don't know specifically if she had any incidences with him after he died, but she has had interactions with ghosts in house that were haunted. So she is kind of, I think, susceptible to it too.
That seems to be like a common thing that I've heard too. It seems like it follows families. Like usually, it seems like whenever we talk to people or you hear someone else's story, like they've had like a parent or another family member that's also experienced this. So that is actually very interesting to hear about that. And then you said now your daughter as well too, like she's experiencing things too. So it's like within your family.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And would you describe yourself as sensitive? Like, do you think that things are just happening to you, or do you think you're sensitive and you can just always sense things that most of us can't?
I can walk into a house and tell you if it's haunted or not.
Wow.
Okay.
Like, I had this really interesting experience once. I needed a roommate, and I went and lived with a friend. And the second I stepped in her door, I said, "Your apartment is haunted, and it's more than one." And she's like, "Yeah."
Wow.
And, but she did not proceed to tell me anything about any of them. So I ended up living with her for, I think, like 4 months. And I ended up having an experience with each one of them. So the first one, I was sleeping on the couch, and it was like the middle of the night. And I had earplugs in. And I heard the loudest, "Wake up!" Like, it jolted me awake. And I'm looking around like, what the heck? What was that? And how did I hear that so loud with earplugs in? And so I'm like, okay, that was strange. So I go back to bed thinking I must have been dreaming or something. And then the next day I tell her about it. And she goes, "Oh, you had an interaction with the general. Was it 6 a.m.? He was probably giving you a wake-up call."
Oh my
gosh. The general.
Oh wow. What a way to wake up every single morning.
Dang, she didn't even give you a heads up.
Oh gosh. That would terrify me.
So I'm like, okay, that was weird. And then so like some time goes on, and then this one night, again, I'm sleeping on the couch, and she has this little like pantry in her kitchen. There's like a door that like closes, and like you can go in there. And anyway, she had this bag of pop cans in there, and all of a sudden they just decide to fall over. And of course the sound jolts me awake, and I'm like, what is going on? So again, the next morning I tell her, middle of the night, the pop cans fell over. And she goes, "Oh, you had an interaction with my daughter." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I had this daughter, and she passed away when she was like 12, and she hangs out in the closet." I'm like, okay, well, thanks for the heads up on that one.
Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you said that when you walk into someone's house, you immediately know that it's haunted. So I want to hear a little bit about how you did. Like, is it just a feeling that you get? Do you see anything? Like, what tells you that a place is haunted?
It's time for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Are you in the Sacramento area craving to turn your vision into body art? Sacred Ink, the sanctuary of Diana Cuevas, Sacramento's tattoo virtuoso, awaits you. Step into a realm where creativity thrives and artistry dances to life. Witness the extraordinary talent of Diana Cuevas firsthand, just like our host, Bobby Washington, whose journey at Sacred Ink was truly enchanting. It's now your turn. For tattoos and an experience that transcends the ordinary, visit sacredink.com. Connect with them on Instagram at Sacred Ink and at Less Tattoos. Now let's get back to Strange Darkness Radio.
It's a feeling. What's ironic is that as much interactions as I've had with ghosts, I've never actually seen one. And I think it's because I'm too afraid. Like, I'm not ready. Like, I really literally don't know what I would do if I saw a manifestation. Like, I don't know what I would do.
So you never saw a shadow figure or anything like that?
Oh, I've seen shadow figures, but I've never seen like a clear, like full body apparition or anything like that. You know, like they show on ghost shows. Like those are probably fake, but yeah, I've never like seen anything like that. But sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No,
did that answer your question?
I'm so sorry.
Oh, about it's a feeling.
Yeah. So can you tell us about the shadow people you've seen, or the shadow figures?
That is part of what goes on at my current haunted apartment.
At your place. Oh, okay.
They like to hide in the closet and peek out.
Yeah, I've met a couple of peekers myself. that do that. So
I almost feel like. Oh
no, go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, I was thinking about what, seeing an actual apparition. Like, would I want to see a very clear ghost and see all of their specific facial details? Or would I rather see like a shadow figure? And to me, shadow figures seem way more terrifying. I don't know why. I guess maybe because you can you don't know like what's within that shadow. Like, is it
or what it is
looking?
Even, is it demonic or is it a human?
Yes. So that's actually terrifying that they're hiding in your closet, actually.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I'm living it.
You said they just kind of... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You said they just kind of peek out. Have you ever seen one like full standing in front of you, or just is it kind of like you see them out the corner of your eye kind of thing?
It's kind of been everything. Sometimes it's a corner of the eye thing. Sometimes it's maybe like a head type figure. My daughter has seen a full bodied apparition standing in the closet in her room. Because they would leave their closet door open and they didn't care. Yeah, same apartment. I always try to keep mine closed because if it's not closed, it's bad.
So have you talked to like the landlord and maybe like other people in that apartment have experienced the same thing, or have you like looked into the history of that apartment that you're in?
I haven't talked to anyone, and I think that's because I don't want them to think I'm crazy.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. But I think everybody just kind of feels like, oh, I'm the only one going through this. Other people aren't going to understand or something, But
yeah. It is hard when you tell and when you do share with other people and they're skeptical. That's always really difficult. It's like, well, then why am I telling other people just for them not to believe anything that I'm saying? So exactly. I can understand that, but. I was curious, like, about the shadow people that you've seen. Like, does it give you like a feeling of dread, or like, what are you feeling, and what do you do when you see a shadow person?
It is a feeling of fear, just straight fear. And I just I try to either ignore it, like, roll over, close my closet more. Sometimes I might, pray. We've done sage. We've done a burning of this certain kind of wood that's supposed to help. We open the doors and the windows. We've tried like all the little stuff that like I know, but like when I posted this on the website about my issue of this haunting, like I couldn't believe it. It blew up. Like, like 1,000 people like responded, and everybody's like, oh, get a priest, do salt, do this. And I don't want to come in here and do a bazillion rituals because, heaven knows what that's going to do. Like, and so I just feel so lost.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Do you feel that it's evil or demonic? Do you get that vibe from it, or you're not sure?
I didn't for the first 2.5 years. I just thought it was just kind of an annoyance.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wanted to invoke fear, like, hey, I'm still here type of thing. But nothing had ever happened. So, it kind of seemed like a prankster, how it would hide things. And sometimes we would find them and sometimes we never would. It started off like that. And then the night of the incident, that prompted me to think that this has gone to another level. It's something demonic because it scratched me on my neck, and it was 3 scratch marks. And, I've watched enough ghost shows to know that 3 is a mocking of the Trinity, and it's usually something demonic.
That's interesting.
And yeah, it was just crazy.
So you didn't feel it happen at the time, or you weren't an entity, or something didn't happen that night? You didn't see a shadow figure that night? Do you remember that at all?
No, like everything was good. I had spent the day with my granddaughter. We were putting her to bed, and she always has a story before bed. I was sitting there reading it to her. We were having a good time. We were happy and laughing, and everything was good. And, said goodnight to her and walked out of the room. And all of a sudden my neck felt hot and it was burning. And I'm like, well, what the heck? And so I went and I looked in the bathroom mirror, and I'm seeing it go from a welt into a scratch. And I'm like, okay, I didn't do that. Like, I would have felt that if I did that.
Yeah.
Or if she did that. Like, this was
and it's
not
in a
either one of
location
us.
like the back of your neck. That's not something, even if you had like a pet cat or something, that's not something that it could have reached or that you wouldn't have noticed. Like, there's no way it could have gotten there that you wouldn't have noticed it. That's just creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Is the activity focused in one room, or I know you said the closets, but does it kind of move around, or are there rooms in the house where it is more active?
Well, what's strange, like I said, in my room, it would just be the peeking. And then in my daughter's room, like, she would see the full apparitions. And then that is the room that I got scratched in as well. So maybe I would say her room is the most active, which is now my granddaughter's bedroom because I moved out.
Oh, okay.
That's scary.
But I mean, it does stuff throughout the whole house. So
are there, it's more than one apparition at a time? Like, do you feel like there's multiple apparitions?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. It could be just one that's moving from my room to hers. Because we've never seen something at the same time in our separate rooms. So I don't know.
When you first got the apartment, did you already feel this, or is this something that just slowly started to show itself over time?
Yeah, when we moved in, it was pretty peaceful, and then it just kind of started slowly. And I think the reason that it's ramping up so much right now is that, they can hear you talking and what goes on in your life. And they're talking about moving out of here when their lease is up in August. And so maybe it's mad that they're leaving, or maybe it's saying, hey, hurry up and get out. I don't know.
So you no longer are living at that apartment, correct?
Correct.
And
but what's funny is I am here tonight.
Oh, wow.
I need to babysit my granddaughter, so.
Well, yeah, hopefully nothing happens while you're there. I was curious, how about your new place? Have you noticed anything there, or you've been fortunate and nothing's happened at your new place?
For the most part, I'm gonna say no. But I do feel like there's a couple times that I have seen shadows in my room. So kind of freaked out. Like I don't want it to pop off like it has at my daughter's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever tried this, but this worked for me. Like, when I was younger, I would hear a lot of footsteps in my room, and I was pretty sure there was some type of presence in my room. But I actually asked for it to leave, and I swear, right after I did that, I never heard those footsteps or anything in my room ever again. So I don't know if that's like something that you've ever tried to, like tell them, hey, you're not welcome here and you need to leave. This is not like, a space for you.
I don't know if I've ever like directly spoken to it like that. I mean, I've said like, in the name of Jesus Christ, you have no power here. You need to go. And the fact that that hasn't worked kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though, because I haven't done that either. Out of all the things even that happened here, I've yet to say exactly what you were saying, Amy. And that's interesting how your mind, at least my mind, didn't go there to, automatically say, okay, get out, like whatever's happening, leave this house. And, so that's interesting how that doesn't just
Well, I
automatically.
thought it was a bad idea to like directly talk to them. I don't know.
It's interesting. Like I read, there was like some pointers from a ghost hunter researcher. His name's Lloyd. I think it's Orbach, maybe.
Okay.
And he actually gave a few tips on things that you could try. Like one of them is to just ignore the ghost. But of course, that could maybe make it seek more attention. It could make problems worse, but some people have like just tried to ignore the situation. A second one, which I don't know about this one, but he suggested using humor. Like ghosts have senses of humor just like we do. But I mean, I don't really, most people probably don't find that situation funny. So I don't exactly know how you would use humor in that kind of situation, but like tell it knock jokes or something like that. I don't know. And then the third one was to listen and learn. Like maybe they're trying to tell you something, maybe they need your help, or I don't know, they haven't crossed over. Who knows what's going on? But and then the fourth one was just tell them to leave. They're not welcome in your space. So I don't know. Like for me, I went months of just like not sleeping at night and hearing all these spooky sounds, and I just kind of hid under the covers and ignored it every single night. But I didn't think to say anything either. But one night, like I had mentioned previous episode, I had a mental breakdown and I started crying, and I actually like tried to talk to it and, say, hey, you need to leave. So I don't know, maybe for some people that nothing's worked, maybe try that route, and maybe you get a nice ghost and they feel bad for you, I don't know, you could try that.
Well, yours could have been a relative and felt sorry. It's like, you know what, I am scaring her, and let me go ahead and move on.
I don't think it was a relative, but I mean, who knows? You never know. Yeah. But it's worth a try. If nothing's
we
working.
We have a lot of dead grandparents.
We have
a lot of dead grandparents.
Yeah. So have your granddaughter had any experiences, or, you've seen her talking to, someone who's not there or anything like that occur?
No, but there has been nights where she's had rough nights where she's waking up for no reason, like every couple hours.
Yeah.
Which is not like her. Like usually she, sleeps like a rock all through the night. And so sometimes I wonder if something's bothering her, like waking her up or something.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. Can you tell us about the baby camera, or is it monitor?
Yeah.
Is it just a monitor?
Well,
Can you see it, or is it both?
It's
Audio
a
and
camera
video?
hanging up in her room, and then we have it running to a monitor.
Yeah. Carolyn, Carolyn might be having technical difficulties, so yep. Yeah, we can't hear you, Carolyn. So
no, yeah.
All right. Sorry, Heidi. I should try to mute and unmute, it looks like.
That's odd.
Okay. Yeah, you might have to just log back in if you can. Oh, she said it turned off. She can't even see.
Yeah, so she's having some little crazy experiences herself.
Technical difficulties going on. See what happens?
Well, she did do a Ouija board last week, so I mean.
Oh man.
And see, she was getting on me saying,
I'm taking all the blame then.
She actually
could have brought this on herself.
She welcomes activity, so maybe this is a good thing. She said she prays for, she wants to be kidnapped by aliens and she wants ghosts to come on her. Most people want the opposite. Out there she is.
I think I'm back.
Yeah,
Did you hear me, Carolyn?
I caught the very last bit.
So you're having some paranormal experiences,
that I want to be abducted.
Huh?
And you guys. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
That was actually weird because my laptop is charged, it's plugged in, and it literally just crashed for no reason. And then, my mic wasn't working. But okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that, Heidi.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm glad it's happening to you, not me. So that way, I'm good.
If it happens again, just go on without me. It's fine.
So the baby monitor, Heidi, what was going on with that? I know there were different incidents that occurred, some when you guys were home and some when you guys were away and watching the monitor. So can you tell us about that?
So my daughter said that twice she's heard a child laughing, and my granddaughter's dead asleep, so it wasn't her. So I don't know, because that kind of freaks me out, because sometimes demonic things can disguise themselves as children. Or who knows, it could be a child. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the other time when they were not home and they had a friend babysitting, they said that it looked like one of her stuffed animals moved.
Ooh. Wow. Does the monitor that you guys have record, or it just, shows the image and the audio?
It's a live feed.
Oh, okay.
So no, it doesn't record it.
Got it. Wow.
And you've never seen anything weird on the baby monitor personally?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting, like if, you could somehow set up like one of those like motion detector cameras that start recording whenever there's like activity. That would, I don't know if that would give me...
even just leave your phone recording, not a video necessarily, but just leave your phone in there overnight one night and just see if you hear anything strange. Because it's
a good idea.
It's a little bit alarming that it's focused in the granddaughter's room, or that there's so much activity in there.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not sure if you know this or not, but no one's ever passed away in that particular apartment or anything? Any incidents with children or things like that?
Not that I specifically know of. The apartments were built in the 60s, so they're pretty old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people could have come and gone in that time, or who knows, what was on the grounds before they even built them. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if apartments have to disclose that information too. Like, I know when you go buy a house, they have to tell you somebody died, right? But
nope. I had a friend
I don't think the renting.
Yeah, I had a friend who was apartment manager, and I'm just going to say the apartments are somewhere in Sacramento or Mather, I should say, and they're along Folsom. And this person passed away in the home or in the apartment and was not found until 3 weeks later. And he totally and the reason they found him is because he oozed into the other apartments.
Underneath?
No, from the
my
top. He was on the top
gosh.
floor. So from the top, they started to
Like bodily
like it was
fluids?
leaking through the roof. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
I'd have to move if I were those people.
yeah, so no, all
it
they did was
oozed
clean the
into.
apartment, pull the rugs up, clean it the best they could, and they did not tell anyone who did not know that that occurred.
My gosh.
So yes, that does happen, especially when older people who live alone and no one visits them and stuff like that.
What about the people that lived below? Were they at least told?
Oh yeah, they
what was
moved their
leaking?
apartment. Yeah, they moved.
Oh, they moved.
They
Okay.
allowed them to move apartments.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know if they told the new people that were in there.
Well, that's messed up.
But yeah,
actually.
so it does happen. It does happen to where they do not have to disclose what occurred. And I don't know if that's all apartments. I don't know if that still happens based upon we are in California. A lot of crazy rules and things happen. But yeah.
It is interesting that your apartments were built in the 60s, though. And just based on the location, I mean, the 60s and 70s, I think it was California, Oregon, Washington, like the whole West Coast was just notorious for like serial killings during that time and all these different active serial killers that were kind of going up and down the coast. So I wonder if that could somehow be related.
Hopefully you didn't have a serial killer living in your apartment.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant maybe a victim possibly lived there and, they didn't necessarily even have to die in the apartment, but maybe they had some attachment to it.
Yeah.
There was a story like that in Chico. A family moved into an apartment and it was kind of a similar story to Heidi's because they started seeing things and it was like a mom and a daughter and the daughter was young. She was like a toddler and she started talking to someone who wasn't there. And then they did some research and found out that there was a girl named Liz who lived in that apartment who had been abducted and she was missing. And this woman actually, by going to the police and telling them the experiences they were having in the apartment, they reopened the investigation and found out she was actually a murder victim of a serial killer that was active there. So
yep, and that apartment is right behind one of our blood centers in Chico, North Valley. And
you know which story I'm talking about?
Yes, it's exactly right behind. If you pull into the back of our blood bank, you can see the apartment. We're always talking about it. People are always pointing at it, and there's a family who lives in there. And they tried to tell them, "Oh no, it's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing happening in there now," because everyone always tells the people whoever takes that apartment about that story. So yeah, it's funny.
I would tell them.
Yeah. I don't know if I would want to know though. If there's nothing going on, I don't know if I want to know.
You wouldn't want to know?
If there was no activity and I did not know, I probably wouldn't want to know.
You won't know if there's going to be activity till you move in. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I'm in there and there's nothing happening, I would rather not know opposed to, know. But yeah.
Yeah, and then freak out.
Exactly. So Heidi, have you guys tried cleansing the apartment, whether it's saging, whether it's having a priest or someone, religious clergyman come in and do something to the area?
No, because everybody seems to think like we're not any religion. And I think of priests and cleansing and all that. I think Catholic, and I'm like, well, would it even work if we're not Catholic? Like, yeah. I don't know how any of that stuff works.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's usually the person, whatever religion they grew up in, and be it family and all that stuff, they usually, send, whether it's a Baptist minister, Christian, Catholic, it doesn't really matter.
I think it's your belief.
Yeah.
That makes it work. If you feel like it's going to work, then it'll work. And if you believe in it, whatever it is. But you said you've tried saging and doing things on your own and telling it to leave.
Yeah. And
nothing has.
Things will kind of calm down for a while and then it just starts up again.
That's interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure. There are so many possibilities of, what it could be. But you do sense at some point it turned demonic, opposed to it just being an entity that was there, right?
After I had the scratches, yeah.
Okay.
That was when I felt things changed.
Yeah. Has it been any type of violence ever since? It's just, just that particular incident? Has it, because I know objects get moved, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
They still kind of have issues with that. But nobody's been attacked.
That's good. That's definitely good.
Do you want help? Like, do you want to get rid of it? I mean, if there's someone out there that could give you advice, are you interested? Or if someone could come to your house and do a cleansing or something, would you be interested in that?
Well, they are leaving.
Yeah, we're moving, but
oh, well, never mind.
But I mean, then what if it follows us?
Yeah.
So
but
if we
yeah,
vanish
she's
it
had,
here, I don't know.
She's seen shadow people at her new place too, so it sounds like maybe it's and it's been throughout your life as well. So
yeah, is it attached to me?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why it happened when I was here. I don't know.
Yeah, and initially, like you were saying, when you guys first moved in, there was like a light, little haunting happening, and then it just ramped up over time. So unfortunately, it might be the same scenario of where you just moved to. Hopefully not. But
yeah.
But have you ever gone to a psychic or been regressed or any of those type of things?
No, I have not. I would love to.
I have a lot of stones around, that to me seem to work. Like I said, I've had different small things, I guess, some a little big, I guess, also, though, that happened in my home. But I do have a lot of crystals around. And I think that does help, whether or not you believe in that, whether or not it's just me believing in it, and it helps, to further, my belief. So it sets, effect of whether or not, you believe it or not, it will manifest it to where it will take it away, I guess. Now, as far as electronic things coming on and off, I can't control that with no crystals, at least I've found. But as far as just things, whether it's shadow figures or feeling a presence in a home, to me, that's definitely helped, wearing different types of crystals that ward off different things. Have you ever tried any of that?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I have a few that friends have given me and stuff, but I don't really feel like it does anything. But Bobby, at this point, I'm about to drink some, moon water, some eclipse water, something water. I mean,
well,
I'm at the end of my rope.
before you do all that, definitely I would suggest just trying, some crystals and talking, going to a place in your local area that has crystals and just talking to them, letting them know what's going on. And they're obviously going to recommend sage and different things like that. But, crystals do help. It's like sometimes, whether it's, something that, you believe in is going to help you, and somehow it manifests itself and it just works.
It's like a placebo that actually works.
Yeah.
If you believe it's going to work, if you believe it gives you power, then it does.
Right.
I think it's worth a try. Yeah. Could be worth a try.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It could be.
Okay. Yeah. Because we definitely, want to make sure you seek some type of help with that. And again, if it's something that follows you, who knows? Because I, feel in my family, we do have things that have been following us forever. And the people in my family are highly religious. Like, they don't even mess around with talking about spirits, and they still have issues and always have. And it's just something that, whether it was, a curse from a long time ago or just a family member that is following everyone, and whether the spirit looks at it as checking in, and we look at it as what the hell, I really can't say, because again, we don't know what their purpose or their interpretation of, how they see us opposed to how we see them. And so yeah. And again, none of it's, we've had things go haywire and crazy. Things fly around. I don't think even my mom has ever been scratched, I would say. But, you know, again, she's probably ducked from a flying plate or something like that for sure. But, but it's always happened. It's always followed her. And she's Creole from Louisiana. And she's always had paranormal things happen. And I don't always have paranormal things happen. I have it happen when either there's like a depression type thing going on in the home, or when I'm talking to people, like I said before, who've had active haunts that are currently going on. But for the most part, because I think I do have that conduit type thing that I kind of keep putting off to the side, meaning I don't really want to explore or, you know, all that stuff. So I think that's why a lot of that stuff happens to me. I think, you know, everybody is different when it comes to that. And I think you might be one of those conduits that they know that you can feel their presence. So they're contacting you or interacting with you because it's like what Amy was saying, they're trying to say something to you or they're trying to get something across. But again, we're taking it as, what is this? What are you doing? And, you know, why are you here? You know, and that's the whole thing about what everybody's trying to find out and seek out. But yeah. Well, Heidi, thanks for joining us. Is there anything you want to add, you know, to your story?
I think I would just say be on the safe side and leave the curiosity alone and don't touch the Ouija board.
Yes, Carolyn, do not. Well, Carolyn wants your
Bobby
ghost.
Encourages her for episodes.
Says Amy.
And Carolyn, stop wishing for it because I promise you're going to regret it.
I told her that.
Be careful what you wish for.
I told her that. But
I don't think I could actually handle what you're going through, Heidi. I think I would legit just freak out. I don't know how anyone deals with that kind of stuff.
So quit messing around because it can happen.
See, Carolyn, you're supposed to say, I can handle it.
Until it's in your house.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm telling you.
That's true.
Bobby wants Carolyn to be haunted so she can come on the show and talk about it. That's what he's hoping for. You notice he's not encouraging her to stop the Ouija board.
People go back and...
Here's favorite holiday is Halloween.
Ooh, not mine. That's probably Amy's and Carolyn's.
I love Halloween. Yeah, I wish it lasted a whole month and not just one day. I don't know if it's my favorite, but Halloween's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, my birthday is the day before Halloween, which makes me happy because I am.
See, we need Rothy to do like a numerology reading on her.
Right? That would be interesting, actually, to get your numerology done, because that is an interesting birthday, especially with the fact that you're sensitive.
That. Yes, I am a Scorpio, baby, through and through.
Oh, wow. Dangerous.
Watch out for those Scorpios.
Exactly.
Ghosts should be afraid of you.
Yeah, I
know. Well, that's probably why they're trying to contact her all the time. Like, hey, let's party. She's like, what are you doing?
Team up.
All right. Well, again, another great show. And hopefully, it kind of calms itself down, especially when your daughter moves out of that particular apartment, Heidi, and it all, just kind of subsides over time. But again, you could be a conduit for it. And, in being that case, sometimes you actually have to learn how to use those abilities to be able to shut something down. And so there are books out there that will help you do that. And I know you really don't want to venture down that avenue, but it might be something you might want to look into, because once you do, and if you are a person who has those abilities, you're able to shut it all down and not have those experiences if you don't want them. So yep.
I am interested. Give me a list of the books. Because I know that's what's going on. It's just going to keep coming, and I can't just keep pretending like it's not happening.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
It's not working anymore.
I definitely will. And again, thank you for being on the show tonight, Heidi. Girls,
absolutely. Thank you guys. That was
any
fun.
last questions?
I think that just whatever you decide to do, if you're going to ignore it or if you're going to confront it or if you're just going to try to, get your house blessed or whatever it is, just don't be afraid of it. I think that whatever it is, it's trying to get a reaction out of you, and just don't give it that reaction. But
Yeah, for sure.
thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story. I know it's not an easy thing to talk about. So
Yeah.
You're
Thanks for coming
welcome.
on and sharing that. Hopefully you do try some of the things that, we've mentioned. Obviously we're not professionals at, ridding people of ghosts, but I think we've done like some research, and maybe some of these tips will be helpful. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're worth trying. Who knows if nothing else has worked at this point. But I wish you well, and hopefully you and your family stay safe, and hopefully things will mellow out as you move to your new place.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you. We are out.
Bye.
As your journey through the shadow realms of Strange Darkness Radio concludes, remember that you unlock the door to the paranormal with the key of imagination. Beyond it lies another dimension, a dimension of eerie soundscapes, chilling sights, and the profound depths of the mind. You're venturing into a land of both haunting shadows and tangible substance, where the ethereal meets the corporeal, and ideas take on a spectral form. You've just crossed over into the Strange Darkness Radio Zone. In the vast expanse of the paranormal, there exists a fifth dimension, extending beyond the known realms of our understanding. It is a dimension vast as the cosmos and eternal as infinity, a mysterious terrain between the illumination of light and the depths of shadow. This is the middle ground between the empirical and the supernatural, where fears fester in the pit of humanity's soul and knowledge ascends to its zenith. Welcome to the dimension of imagination, an area we dub the Strange Darkness Radio Zone. As you conclude your journey with us, remember that you're departing this peculiar zone, a place where reality intertwines with the surreal. Be cautious as you step out, for you may find that the boundaries between the normal and the paranormal blur, leaving you forever in the lingering embrace of the unknown. Until next time, farewell from the depths of the Strange Darkness Radio Zone.